Hello, young clarinetists. We're here today with one of my favorite level 2 solos called Clarinata by Maurice C. Whitney. And we're going to divide today's video into two sections. First, you'll hear me play it, and then I will give you a mini lesson on how to play this piece successfully for whatever audition you may have coming up. Here's Clarinata by Maurice Whitney. All right, so what you most likely noticed about Clarinata, or at least I hope you noticed if you're listening carefully, is that Clarinata is in ternary form. You say to yourself, what in the heck is ternary form? Ternary form is A, B, A. This piece has an A section, a theme, then a B section which has a contrasting theme in a different key, and then at the end it returns to the A theme again. Now what is interesting about this piece is that the A section is very light, buoyant, floating, bouncy, and the B section is very lyrical. So that's the first thing I'd like you to concentrate on when you work on this piece is, can you make the introduction and the first A section light and bouncy, and then when it comes back after the B section, play it in that same style. When you hit the B section, you want to play it as lyrically and as smoothly as possible. You want to think of it as a very stern contrast to the first part of the piece and the last part of the piece where you get that A theme again, which is very bouncy. All right. What else do you need to know about Clarinata? I think most young students at this age, maybe you don't have a lot of experience playing in cut time. No worries. What I'd like you to do, and this will serve you well in performance as well, is when you learn this piece, learn it in a 4/4 feel. So in other words, the long-term goal of this piece is to play it in that cut time feel. When you learn it at a slower tempo, it's really good to learn it in a 4/4 feel. So I would learn it like so. 1, 2. With that stern 4/4 feeling. As you gradually increase the speed, you want to lose the 4/4 feeling and start to feel your beat only on beats 1 and 3 of the 4/4 time. So you end up with, I'll start it off in 4, and then I will transition or downshift, as I call it, into cut time. Now, hopefully you didn't feel a difference in the speed of the piece. You felt a difference in the feel of the piece. Da 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 da. Now, when I switch to that cut time feel, I'm still internally doing this. Bum 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 ba da ba ba bum bum ba da ba ba bum. I'm still feeling that very strongly. However, I don't want that to show on the outside. I want the outside to feel more graceful, more less frantic sounding, because I'm feeling the beats further apart. Indeed, in cut time. Okay, externally this. Internally this. I explain it often to my students like this. It's like a swan going across the lake. On the surface, you see something very graceful and very elegant. Underneath the water, you see those webbed feet kicking away like crazy. You want to be the swan, right? Elegantly cruising across the lake. And underneath, you have that nice steady beat that's going quite a bit quicker. That helps you to keep it steady, but at the same time, be rather elegant. Next, I wanted to talk to you about the dynamics. There are some really kind of clear dynamics in this piece. You start mezzo forte. There are a piano right after letter B. And contrasting those is really kind of makes the piece interesting. Without those dynamics, it can start to become a little bit boring, a little bit dry. Here's the pick up to B. Really emphasize the fact that the first 2 measures are forte, the next 2 are piano, the next 2 mezzo forte. That makes that kind of interesting as opposed to just kind of one level of dynamics. Next, that middle section, that B section, the thing that makes it ABA, starts at letter D. You should really work to be super smooth and super lyrical. Now the dynamic, there's one whole dynamic marking in this section. There's mezzo piano, and then there's a crescendo and a diminuendo. If you just play it at one level, it's going to be really kind of dull and boring. So what I suggest to you is as the line ascends, you make gradual crescendos, and as the line descends, you make gradual diminuendos. Almost always you want to kind of crescendo to the long notes, and then when you get to the long notes, you want to pull away from them. Music is either always going somewhere or coming from somewhere. It's very rarely does music just do that kind of flat line thing. It's like one of those machines that measures your heart rate and you see in the hospital, and it goes ba-bum, ba-bum, right? If your music is doing that, if it's going up and down, it's alive. If your music's doing this, it's kind of like your heart rate. If it ain't happening, it's pretty bad for music and probably not so good for your life too if that machine is going beep. Pretty boring. So let's listen to a little bit of D and listen as I crescendo up the line gradually and diminuendo as I go down the line. Now, those aren't earth-shaking, groundbreaking crescendos. They're just little direction as I go higher and as I come back down. They give the music a little bit of meaning, a little bit of feeling. And then finally, the end. The ending is starts the last line, actually 2 beats before J. And you want to play nice and lightly. Sometimes I have students will do that. I'll have students do this where I'll have them make a crescendo to the forte at the end. And sometimes I'll have them just play it really quietly and then make the forte a surprise and then the pianissimo a surprise. See what you like better. All in all, it's a really fun piece to play. I think some of the most important things is that you make the A and B sections rather dramatic in their style differences, that you add some dynamics, and that you get that right cut time feel as you go throughout. I wish you lots of success as you work on this piece. It's one of my favorites. Good luck and happy practicing.